All right, Yellowstone fans, let's talk about where we stand right now. With 1923 wrapped up, we're currently living in a world without a Yellowstone story gracing our screens. But before you start panicking, hold up. There's actually a whole lineup of spin-offs coming our way. We've got The Madison, starring the incredible Michelle Pfeiffer, and Marshals, which will follow Casey. Dutton, played by Luke Grimes. But here's the one that's got everyone talking, and honestly, it might have been in development, even before Yellowstone's final episode aired. We're getting a series dedicated entirely to our favorite fiery power couple, Rip Wheeler and Beth Dutton, played by Hauser and Kelly Reilly. Why Beth and Rip deserve their own show? Look, let's be real here. After Kevin Costner's dramatic departure caused all that chaos behind the scenes, it was really Reilly and Hauser who carried the weight of those final episodes on their shoulders. They absolutely crushed it. And now that Beth and Rip are happily married and ready to build their own dynasty, it only makes sense they'd get their own story. And trust me, Beth and Rip are part of something much bigger than you might realize. We just don't know the full scope of it yet. Confirmed cast members. So who's actually signed on for this thing? Well, when we last saw our beloved couple, they'd managed to secure their own little piece of land to start fresh. The cast list reflects exactly that. It's going to be intimate and focused. Even before the second half of Yellowstone Season 5 aired in 2024, Hauser and Kelly Reilly were already locked in as the leads. No surprise there. But after the Dutton Ranch was officially handed back to Chief Thomas Rainwater, that's Gil Birmingham's character, pretty much everyone else went their separate ways. Family members scattered, farmhands moved on. Carter's return, a key addition. Here's where it gets interesting though. Finn Little has been confirmed to return as Carter. You know, that troubled teenager who Beth and Rip took in and treated like the son they never had. It's actually a beautiful parallel to how John Dutton took in Rip when he was young. Now, we don't know if Carter officially became part of their family or if he's going to follow Rip's path and become the devoted ranch hand. Personally, I'm hoping for the former. It would be amazing to see Rip's stone heart crack a little more, especially with some gentle persuasion from Beth, and actually adopt Carter as their own. What to expect from the plot? Okay, so what's this show actually going to be about? Right now, the details are pretty scarce. All we really have to go on is what we saw in Yellowstone's final season. Beth and Rip have set off to start over. Rip's running his own ranch now, and Beth is presumably keeping her position as this powerhouse businesswoman. She might even be setting up her own enterprise after losing her father. But here's the thing, and Taylor Sheridan's original flagship show proved this. Running a ranch and protecting that land is no joke, especially considering how much drama constantly showed up at the Dutton's doorstep. So you better believe whatever story Sheridan has planned for these two is going to come with the same level of tension and drama they dealt with for 5 seasons. I just hope they find some happiness in between all that chaos as they try to build their own dynasty from the ashes of what they left behind. And let's be honest, we can absolutely count on at least a few scenes where they fight, make up, and kiss so passionately that you have to look away before the camera cuts to horses galloping across some stunning mountain landscape. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Behind the scenes, writing and directing. Now, while we're getting some cast confirmations, the behind-the-scenes team is still pretty much a mystery. But here's what we do know. Taylor Sheridan is expected to return as showrunner, and that's huge news. Kelly Reilly actually made it crystal clear that her only condition for coming back as Beth after Yellowstone ended was that Sheridan had to be involved. She told Entertainment Weekly, "But if Taylor wants to write it, I would want to do it." That's it. Because he's the one that's written every single line I've ever said. Beth came from his imagination. Now, it's not impossible for someone else to take the reins. We're seeing that with Marshals, where SEAL Team showrunner Spencer Hudnut is taking over from Sheridan for the Casey-focused series that's heading to CBS. But honestly, this Beth and Rip series feels like an unofficial 6th season of Yellowstone, so it makes total sense for Sheridan to keep a close eye on this one. Christina Voros, one of Yellowstone's executive producers, put it perfectly when she told the Hollywood Reporter that Sheridan has left the door wide open for any number of stories to come out of that romance, and because people are in love with them, I think an audience would be interested in seeing whatever story that would become. Potential crossovers with other spin-offs. Here's where things get really exciting. The crossover possibilities are endless. Even though we're still in early development, don't be shocked if Beth and Rip's story starts weaving into other projects Sheridan has cooking, especially in areas where the Dutton name still carries weight. Marshals connection. Casey's why Marshals is probably going to be more action-packed than whatever Beth and Rip get into, but their stories are definitely going to intersect. There was actually a conversation between Casey and Rip in Yellowstone's final episode, where Casey basically said he'd be there if help was needed. And honestly, he probably won't be the only familiar face showing up. The 6666 connection. Then there's 6666, which is still pretty early in development. This show would catch us up with Jimmy Herdstrom, Jefferson White's character, who went from ranch worker to rodeo star. We last saw him leaving the Yellowstone Ranch in season 4, but it would be incredible to see him come back to help Rip as a way of thanking the man who set him straight and kept him out of trouble. Plus, it would be a perfect setup for whenever that show actually launches. The Madison Showdown. And don't even get me started on the Madison. This could introduce a whole new family of outsiders who clash with our happy couple, potentially setting up what could be an absolutely epic showdown between Beth and Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Can you imagine? That would be television gold right there. What we can expect. Bottom line, no matter which direction they go, you can expect drama and those iconic duster coats aplenty. That's exactly what this power couple has always delivered, and I doubt their doubt. Gonna stop now. The beauty of this spin-off is that it gives Beth and Rip the space to build something entirely their own while still being connected to this larger Yellowstone universe that we all love. Whether they're dealing with new enemies, old friends, or family drama, you know it's gonna be one hell of a ride. So what do you think? Are you excited to see Beth and Rip get their own series? Which characters are you hoping will make appearances? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Yellowstone universe updates and analysis.